Ça marche.
C'est bon.
J'étais à l'entrée ici.
Please, Mr. Alawi, once you make us on live, you let me know.
It's already live. It's already live.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I sent you a private message. You could answer, please.
Mm-hmm.
Bonsoir tout le monde.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir, bonsoir, bonsoir.
Shall we start?
I'm waiting for the confirmation.
All right. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, you can start.
Okay, my friend. Thank you.
We're just waiting for people to join in.
Okay, so we wait for 5 minutes more?
Okay.
So during this time, could you please, Mr. Mohamed, tell us which resources we can read to enhance our business English? Which resources are you using to read about this business English, to learn new terms. Could you recommend? Do you have any recommendation?
Yeah, of course, there are many ways to enlarge and to improve your business English vocabulary. It's whether to join the courses,
Yes.
the e-learning courses, or to join the English communities, English speaking communities, and therefore you can practice your business English. So the most appropriate way to learn is to practice a language. So
Yes.
you have to immerse yourself to the English speaking environment, whether by joining the courses, whether by having some friends, or to dealing with some clients on some purchasers. So there are different ways. It depends on your facilities. We have different facilities, multiple choices. So based on your capacities, on your resources, then you can optimize it. But definitely the key word, the key advice is practice.
Yeah. Yeah, practice is it's a way of the output, but I'm talking about the input. You know, I'm talking about which resources we can read. For instance, I like reading. Do you have any recommendation, something to read about business, something that you think might help me a lot to accelerate the learning process of the English, business English?
Okay, I can recommend you some books. I have some books of business English.
Yes.
I just needed to make sure about the title. I can send you the title on your private message later.
Right. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Shall we start?
Yeah, I think we will start right now. Okay. So are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So for today, two topics. The first one is related to is more technical learning, and the second part of this classes is more related to the general knowledge. So I wanted to provide you, to give you, to acquire some technical knowledge, like for example, how to communicate with the clients, like related to the business environment. And the second part, it's related to the general knowledge. We can talking about a general topic, any update news or something. So for today, about the first part, it will be about how to write an email. What is the process? What are the techniques to write effectively an email to the English native partners? And for the part two, we will talk about Canada, which is an English-speaking country, also French-speaking country, but mainly English-speaking country. And we'll try to analyze this country in his different sides, different sides economically, politically, culturally, and so on, to have an overview of what is this country. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good. Let's start. So for the first one about English writing, why English writing is very important. Sorry, I'm trying to make it down. Okay, so why? So writing email is one of the communication channel to enlarge your business, to be connected with the rest of the world. So it's very common, intense, and useful way. But for any communication, for any tool, because email is a tool way for communication, we need to acquire, we need to know some marks, some techniques, and some methodology on how to write an email. So for the first one is the greeting. For the greeting, we have three ways. We can say hi, Mr. or hi, Miss. This is, it's much more formal. We have hello. This is much more neutral. And we have hey. This is more like if you want to send an email to someone that you know very well, so you can say hello. This is more informal. So if you want to send the email to someone that you don't know personally, and your relationship with him is only limited on personal, professional aspect, it's better to say and to write hi. If it's someone that, for example, it's your colleagues, but you don't have some intimate relationship, you just write hello, neutral. And if it's your friend, but it's your friend and also business partner, then you can write hey, like for hi Omar, or hi my friend, or hi my brother. It can it's passed and it's accepted, but it depends on the relationship that you maintain, or that you are in with this person. After making the greeting, that is about introducing a topic. So when you write an email, it has a purpose, it has a topic. So you need to be able to introduce effectively on the right way a topic. So you can say, for example, hi, Mr. Alawi. This is to inform you that I'm not able to host a lecture. Cela est pour vous informer que je ne serai pas apte à assurer le cours. This is to inform you that I confirm my participation to this lecture, for example. Or for the promotion, this is really formal way. This is to inform you that you have been promoted to the position of business manager. So this is much more formal to someone that you don't know very well, okay? We have a second way. This is more informal or more neutral. Like, for example, hey, my friend, just to let you know that I will not be here on Friday. Just to let you know, I'm not here on Friday. So the first one, this is to inform you, is formal, is more diplomatic way to someone that you want to start a business with. You want to show some professionalism on your image. Then you say this is to inform you, very serious way. Just to let you know, you can write it to someone that that you know him for a while, and just you send to him an email daily or weekly or monthly, and this is also, it could be right to introduce this topic by this way. And also, this one is much more friendly way, friendly and professionally way. For example, you can write it on your WhatsApp, on your WeChat. Hi, my friend, good news. I have been promoted in this company. Or bad news, or we've got a good news, or we've got bad news. For example, good news, I'm getting a raise, just to let you know. So we have different ways. It depends on the nature of your email, on the nature of your relationship that you have with your partner. Then you can choose whether formal, whether neutral, and whether informal. So after making the greeting, after introducing a topic, then we move to following up on a previous discussion. So I think that about most of the time you have a conversation, You need to follow up about the previous discussion, previous email. Someone sent you email, then you need to work on the email and then to reply him. And also we have a way to following up on the previous discussion, to answer to the previous discussion, to the previous email. For example, we can say, hi, Mr. As discussed, or as we discussed. Donc, can you give me an example? As we discussed, we can say, as discussed, we have to update our business strategy. As we discussed on the previous email, I send you my feedback on this new business strategy. Donc ça, c'est en réponse à un email précédent. It just is about to answer to the previous email. Can you give me an example about as we discussed?
Actually, I will use it, but differently. As we didn't discuss, if anybody wants to participate, please raise your hands. Okay. Anybody that wants to participate, please raise your hands.
Okay, my friend, give me an example. So as discussed, I send you my feedback or my report on our previous email. Second example, to follow up on our meeting. Ça veut dire ça, c'est pour poursuivre notre conversation ou notre réunion. To follow up on our meeting. To follow up on our meeting, please find in attachment the feedback of Miss Rosa or Mr. J or someone. To follow up on, like, hi, Mr. Alawi, I hope you are doing well. To follow up on our meeting, I would like to remind you on our next meeting on Friday or something. This is very important to use. This is the phrase transition about to let him know about the context, what we will talk about. So when you use the appropriate sentence, you show your credibility and your professionalism. So we have two ways, as discussed, to follow up on our meeting. This is two really very formal ways. And also we have regarding or in regards to. C'est-à-dire regarding, c'est-à-dire par rapport or en vue de. Regarding the schedule, please don't forget to host your training on time. Par rapport, en vue du programme, n'oublie pas d'établir your training, ton cours on time. Yeah, so guys, voilà, concernant, exactement. So feel free to discuss with me. I prefer to make an interaction with all of you, ladies and gentlemen, so feel free. We can also use as far as space goes. For example, as far as space goes. In the space, you can put the topic. As far as the budget of the company goes, like en ce qui concerne le budget de la compagnie, we can say as far as space goes, like as far as the topic then goes. Well, as far as the budget goes, we I suggest you to host a new meeting with all of you on next week, in able to fix or to clarify all the details about this topic. Donc ça aussi c'est très important. It's very important to use this also this transition sentence.
So does regarding and as far as goes have the same meaning, or are they different? For instance, we can say regarding the budget instead of as far as the budget goes. So how we can know whether we can use as far as or regarding? Is there any difference, or are the same? We can just play with words.
I think there is no big difference. You can use these two ways because these two sentences are formals.
Right.
The difference that we can do is about informal or formal. It depends on the people that you talk about. But for this two one is formal, so you can use it for the same purpose. Like you are talking to. It's more serious way. You're talking to the serious partner, or it's about serious topic as far as or regarding or to follow up or as discussed.
Okay, thank you.
On the topic of, et ça c'est sous le thème de, on the topic of is about to introduce someone. On the topic of, oh, I make a mistake, sorry. On the topic of the new marketing strategy that we have to establish, please find in attachment my proposal on the topic of, sous le thème de, or on the topic of the business forecast strategy. I recommend to reunite all together on this date or on this time on the topic. So I give you 5 proposals to introduce your topic on the replying about the previous email, on the replying the previous email. As discussed, to follow up on our meeting in regards to as far as topic goes on the topic of. Okay, fine. Let's move on. And here it's about asking any requesting. Of course, like when you send email, you have a request. Vous avez une exigence. You have something to ask for. And also we can use, I would like to know if, when, how. This is more neutral. I would like to know if I should bring anything for the meeting. We can say, could you let me know if, where, how? For example, could you let me know where I can collect the money? Could you confirm 100%? Could you confirm if my training is on Saturday at 9:30 p.m.? For example, could you confirm how much money I should contribute to this event? Do you know if, when, or how? Do you know when the confinement in Morocco will take end? Do you have any details? And this is about, for example, you want to buy some product, you want to have some details about product or material or equipment that you want to buy from someone. Then you can, for example, you are dealing with China, with Chinese supplier. Then you can say, do you have any details about this product or this mask that I want to buy from you? Do you have any details on the products that you would like to buy from China? Donc ça, c'est par rapport, si vous voulez avoir des exigences en termes de technicité. If you want to get some requirements, some technical requirements on product or on equipment that you want, whether to sell or to buy. So this is of asking any requesting. Hi, Mr. Alawi, I hope you are doing well. As we discussed, I'm sending you this email to know if you have any details about this product requirement or this product specificities. So we can join many ways or many the transition sentence, sorry. So we can join many forms on your email. And he asks about saying thanks. Like at the end of your email, you have to be polite and to thank your partner. You can say, thanks for getting back to me. Thanks for the information. You can say also thanks for the info. This is much more informal. Thanks for the head up. And ça, c'est par rapport à quelque chose like some forecast information, some very important information that nobody knows, only you. Thanks for the head up. Like c'est une information qui est importante. Like thanks for this head up. Thanks for this useful information. Thanks for the update. And thanks for following up with something, with this topic. And also for the ending, I will get back to you as soon as I can, or I will get back to you as early as I can, or as soon as possible. Or more simply, I will let you know, or I will keep you posted. Je te tiens informé. Let me know, and thanks, regard, and all the best. So here are some sentences or some marks that you can put on your email. So first the greeting, then you introduce your topic. After, if you have any request, then you need to put some beginning information, which is very important. After, when you end, when you already clarify the purpose of your writing, then you have to end your email by thanking your partner and by ending. This is the normal process of writing the email. Do you have any?
Yes. We have one question from Facebook asked by Yasser Rahmoni.
Yep.
He said, can we say hi, Mr. or Madam, as in French, if we don't know whom we are writing to?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Can we say hi, Mr. or Madam, as in French, if we don't know whom we are writing for?
Yes, of course. Hi, Miss, or hi, Mr. Yeah, Miss, Mr. Yeah,
Miss,
or
Mr.
hi, dear, or dear. Much more common.
Okay, so yes, here you can use dear instead of Mr. or Madam.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just a question, please.
Yep.
We can say dear for women as well?
We cannot say dear. Sorry.
I'm saying, for example, we don't know if when we send the email, we can write dear. We can say hi, dear, for a woman as well.
Can say dear, of course. Dear is very formal way, very serious way. Dear. But if you don't know the people, don't say hello. You can say hi or dear. These two ways are you can use it. Is very formal to someone that you don't know or to someone that you want to establish a new cooperation incorporation. Formal ways, for example, hello, or thanks for the info, or let me know, or something like that. So to someone that you don't know, it's better to use the serious ways, the formal ways. Hi, dear, as we discussed, or sorry. Yeah, this is to inform you. This is formal way. You can, to someone that you don't know, hi, dear, this is to inform you. This is more formal, more serious way, more appropriate to someone that you don't know. But if you already know someone, you can say hello or hi. For example, Mr. Arawi, who is my friend, I can write him, hello, my brother. Good news. I can go back to China or something like that. Okay, but to someone that you don't know, better to use hi or dear, or just this is to inform you.
Any other question?
Yeah, any other question before we pass to the topic 2? Okay, Drisi, later. This is about this. Here we are talking about the transition word. Therefore, in fact, so I can host a class about the transition sentences. Okay, I cannot tell you in 5 or 3 minutes now.
We have Jamal Soul from Facebook who asks, how can we say bien cordialement?
Best regards, or some people say cordially, but cordially it's not, it's correct, but the more appropriate is to say best regards. Best regards, c'est plus approprié à cordialement. Best regards. Best regards, this is the most formal way. If you are sending email to his partner, yes. Best regards. C'est la plus formelle.
Okay. Muhatato is asking, we can conclude the mail simply by writing, have a nice day. I think
no.
Formal emails, no.
No, you can send it to your friend partner, like a partner who is your friend that you are very close to. Then it's really it's correct. But to the news, to your boss, or to your supplier or client, that there is some very formal relationship, then it's not very well perceived to say have a nice day, in my according. Yeah. But after you make some business, after a long time relationship, after that you know him personally, you can write have a nice day, but not at the beginning on establishing a cooperation, not at the beginning, that your purpose is to enlarge your network. Okay, you need to give the best version of yourself on credibility, because you don't know whether this person wants to be close to you or not. That you have to be very cautious in your writing communication. First, you have to be professional. If you feel that these people want to be close to you, then you can use the friendship sentences. Have a nice day, hello, my friend, or someone like this. But at the beginning, my advice is to keep serious in order to not be upset or disappointed. Because you need to identify the intention of the person, of your partner. Because we have different kind of partners. We have the partner who is very participative, want to be very close to his business people, then you can use these friendship sentences. But there are another kind of partner that want to maintain only exclusively a serious and formal and professional relationship, then it's not appropriate to call him as friend or to say have a nice day or something like that.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Yeah.
Is there any other question? Zoom people?
Okay, let's move on. Thank you so much. So now let's move to the topic 2. We will talk about Canada, description of Canada. So this is the Canadian flag, and this is the Justin Trudeau, the most funny chief leader. Okay, let's move on. So if you tell me, what is the reputation of Canada? Canada is very known as a country which welcomed a lot of migrants. So, for example, last year, 300,000 new migrants, equivalent to 1% of the total population, have been joined or have joined Canada, because Canada is a big land with few demography, with less of people. So it's one of the most open country to the foreigners. So that's why a lot of Moroccans, they wish to immigrate and to move to Canada, because it's a developed country and at the same time a country who welcome and who desire new people. Okay, in your according, do you think immigration has a positive impact on the economy of Canada? So it was a question who has been asked to the Canadian people, and they said, and they replied that yes, 40%, 80% think that it's a good idea and it's a good way to improve our economy, and only 16% think no. And what's your opinion? I have a question I want to ask you. Do you think that immigration in general can contribute to the development of a country? I mean, economically. What's your opinion? Then, because this topic too is about general knowledge, I want to establish a debate with all of you. Do you think that immigration has a positive impact on the economy in general? The Canadians say yes. How about you? What's your opinion?
Yes.
Yes. Can you explain? Why, in your opinion, immigration is a good to improve the economy of a country? Tu peux le dire en français ou là بالعربية, et là on va essayer de traduire. Vas-y, dis-moi.
Well, Mohammed, so I joined the Canadian people are saying yes, simply, well, it helps a lot the Canadian economy, simply because there are jobs which I think most Canadian people do not do. There are jobs who can be made by other people, like technology. There are most people coming from India who are working on the technology. Mm-hmm. And there are jobs, so they are well, Canada, in my opinion, yes, they need this immigration process is mainly made to attract most skilled people. So they are looking for skills, and maybe they have this gap in their system, and they are looking for people abroad to bring them to fill those gaps, and that helps them increase their economy. So that's my perspective.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your
Thank
brilliant.
you, Taha. Thank you, Mohammed. Excuse me for interrupting both of you. But in order to make it a more interactive class and more of communication class, could any of the audience who who wants to speak just introduce yourself first? Taha, could you do it since you have finished your intervention? Could you just introduce yourself, please?
Of course. My name is Taha Shashi, and by the way, I'm not a CEO. I'm just beginning my career as a network engineer, and now I'm joining a new company as a project manager. I was, I didn't learn English in any school, just at home by listening to more of the BBC News. I was, in fact, attracted by the British accent and the way. So when you look at the BBC News, I think most people are attracted to these fashioned accents. So I was one of those people who are attracted by the British accent, and particularly I was listening to the UK Parliament a lot. Why? Because they are using, particularly to the financial statements made in the Parliament. So with this way, you can learn more business English. So that's my strategy. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Taha. Thank you for your interaction, for your participation, and for your brilliant answer. Indeed, Canada, they are in the processing on hiring, on attracting the global talent, the talented people, because as you have said, there is a gap between their need in terms of skills and the abilities of the local population. So it's due to this gap, due to this difference, that they are obliged or forced to attract the global talents, whether high qualified or just laborers. Thank you so much. Pour les autres qui ont beaucoup plus de mal à s'exprimer en anglais, ils peuvent intervenir en français ou là en arabe, et ensemble, on va faire la traduction, car c'est la meilleure façon de s'améliorer. Ok? Donc, c'est ouvert à toute personne qui veut parler. Okay, so let's move on. So, about Morocco, I think...
Bonsoir.
Oui, bonsoir. Salam alaikum.
Bonsoir.
À mon avis, pour le Canada, ils ont...
Voulez-vous vous présenter d'abord, s'il vous plaît?
Après, ce qu'on voit tout le temps.
Can you please introduce yourself? Could you please introduce yourself, please?
Pardon?
Could you please introduce yourself? Pouvez-vous vous présenter?
Oui, je m'appelle Asma.
Oui.
Je suis enseignante d'informatique et aussi je suis étudiante en master sécurité informatique et décision.
Okay. So you are software teacher and also so you are you based in Morocco?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what's your answer? En français.
D'accord. Pour moi, c'est le Canada et ils ont besoin de la main-d'œuvre. Je crois qu'ils ne cherchent pas toujours les compétences parce que, d'après ce qu'on voit, les jeunes qui partent au Canada, c'est là-bas où qu'ils se forment, qu'ils peuvent avoir des compétences, de nouvelles compétences. Alors, ils ont besoin de la partie des jeunes. C'est pour ça, c'est la main-d'œuvre. Ils ont besoin pour développer l'économie.
Okay, so in your opinion, Canada is more looking for labor workers. Donc, laborers, ouvriers, laborers. L-A-B-O-R-S. So they are more looking for laborers because so they need several skills. So, and not necessarily the high qualified people. Pas nécessairement les personnes hautement qualifiées, or talented people, ou des gens talentueux. Okay, so in my opinion, Canada is more looking for, donc being looking for, c'est être à la recherche de labor worker more than high qualified people. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, so let's move. Thank you for your participation. Okay, so about the foreign-born population in the J8 countries. Donc c'est le G8. Here we have Japan, Italy, Russia, France, United Kingdom, United States of America, Germany, and Canada. And we can say that 20.6% of the global Canadian population are born in the foreign countries. That means that this country is a multicultural country, is a multi-ethnical country, and it's and the essence of this country is about attracting the foreign people. So this is a common characteristic of the North American countries, including United States, is based on foreign immigration. So 20.6% des Canadiens, ils sont nés à l'étranger. They're born. So it's the highest percentage among the G8 countries. And you can see only Japan 1%. So here it's about the civilization difference between and North America. Asia, like Japan, Korea, China, Singapore, Taiwan, Vietnam, all of these countries that are very nationalistic in terms of immigration. They don't want a foreigner. They think that China is for Chinese, Japan is for Japanese, Korea is for Korean countries. So they are very nationalistic in their perceptions, in their state philosophy. But rather than North America, they are very open to the world. And that's why, this is the reason why North America, they enjoy on a better image in the rest of the world more than China or Japan, because those countries are more close to themselves. But it's about the civilization philosophy on how you can identify your country. For example, here you can see Justin Trudeau has welcomed 33,000.
Ahmed, we don't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Okay.
Thank you, Amin.
Allô?
Oui?
So, vous m'entendez?
Oui, maintenant oui.
Yes.
We can see here in the first year of Justin Trudeau presidency, he has welcomed 33,000 Syrian refugees. This is an example of the opening of the Canadian opening, or Canadian immigration policy opening to the world, rather than other countries. Okay. How about the regional member states? So Canada is member of G7, donc c'est le G7. So the countries who are among the G7 are those who are the most developed countries. And here it's about Japan, United States of America, France, UK, Germany, Canada, and Italy. Donc c'est le G7. And Canada is among these 7 most powerful countries. And strangely, Russia and China are not the members of this G7. And also it's a member of the Commonwealth. And the Commonwealth, c'est l'équivalent, is the equivalent of the francophonia, like c'est l'équivalent de la francophonie. It includes all the English-speaking countries who were the colonized by United Kingdom. They are the former colonized countries, except United States of America. All the English-speaking countries are members of this Commonwealth, except United States of America. And in Africa, we have South of Africa, we have Kenya, Ethiopia, and Nigeria and Ghana. They are those who are members of the Commonwealth, plus India, also who is member of the Commonwealth. And also Canada is a member of United Nations. This is very common. And also it's member to G20. And G20 include the 20 most powerful countries. And here it's also includes the emerging countries. Saudi Arabia, Turkey, China, India, Brazil, South Africa, and so on. And also, Canada is a member of the Francophone space. Donc, c'est un membre de la francophonie. It's due to the Quebec as a Francophone area. That's why it's Canada is a bilingual country, bilingue, but it's mainly English. Most of the Canadian people speak English. Only few speak French, and the Moroccan community is mainly located on the French-speaking area due to this common language. Here are sorry, I made a mistake. I don't know why I wrote Japan. Okay. Yeah, so okay. So the population is 34 million people. The area is one of the biggest area. It's about 10 million kilometers square. Major language are English and French, both officials. That's why when you see, when you watch the speech of Justin Trudeau, is divided on English and French. So he speaks in French and English. The major religion they are Christian, and the life expectancy is 79 for men and 83 for women. And the currency veut dire la devise, is the Canadian dollar. So in this slide, we have some famous brands of Canada. For example, McCain. McCain is the world famous brand on French fries, right? French fries. So it's made in Canada. Can you recognize some branding of Canada here? Can you recognize? IMAX. This is IMAX, which is about it's also Canadian brand on cinema. Pizza. So you recognize all of this branding. Okay, good. For me, I only recognize McCain, Harvey's, IMAX,
La Senza.
La Senza. What is La Senza? Okay, so let's move on. So here we can see in the map of Canada that Quebec is the main province where you will find French speakers, as French is the sole official language there. New Brunswick is official bilingual French and English, so you will also find a lot of French speakers there, as well as part of Ontario that's border Quebec. So only in Quebec that the people speak French, but in all the other regions they speak mainly English. So you can see that there are many regions here: Atlantic, Quebec, Ontario, Pacific, Prairie, and Northern region. And Chinese people, because I know Chinese people are mainly based on the west coast of Canada in the Pacific region. And they are based in I forgot the name. I forgot the name. I forgot the city name of this city. That they have a lot of Chinese people there. Sorry, I forgot. Because China is closer to the West Coast than the East Coast. That's why they have a lot of migrants who move to the West Coast. As in the United States, most of the Chinese are located at the West Coast of United States, in the California. Here's some diagnostic of Canada. If you want to analyze Canadian economy, they have some advantages and weaknesses. And we can understand that one of the main advantage of Canada is that they have an abundance, like une abondance and diversified energy and mineral resources. Donc, ils ont beaucoup de ressources naturelles that we can see. And is the world's 5th largest oil and gas producer. Donc, c'est le 5e plus grand producteur de gaz et de pétrole. And they have some proximity with the US markets. So thanks to this geography proximity, that they can sell much easier than other countries who is far away from the US. And also they have excellent business climate, or we can say business environment. In Canada, due to the transparency, due to this administrative processing, they have a lot of facilities to create a company and to running a company much easier than in Morocco, for example. But what about the weaknesses of Canada? They are fully dependent on the US economy, and also they are fully dependent on the energy prices. Their economy is based on natural resources exportation. It's similar than Saudi Arabia or Nigeria or someone. But why Canada is developed and others not? Because Canada is transparent in their way of managing the wealth and the income that they generate from the natural resources. Because they have democracy, they have transparency, and they invest all this income on education, on enlarging their infrastructures, on developing the healthcare system, and also on establishing the equality and justice among all of the population. So they use these natural resources effectively. And also they have a high debt of the household. It represents 165% of disposable income. It means that they spend more than they earn. And this is also very negative. This is similar to United States households. They spend more than they earn. So that's why they have a big debt of around 165%. This is just an overview of Canadian descriptions. So we can say Canada is rich on natural resources, powerful country, and also they are transparent because due to their policy, due to their political want to invest all the income on the strategic sectors, but also they are fully dependent on the energy prices. And also they have big debt. The householders, they have a big debt. It represents more than 150%.
So this weakness of high level of household debt obviously will make an excellent business climate because you have a lot of customers. So businesses will make a lot of money from this weakness. Don't you think that?
It depends on the nature. It depends on the investment nature. It depends on this. We have to analyze this debt because it's for example, if we analyze the Chinese debt, we can understand that it's positive debt because it's emanate from the investment. They borrow the money in order to develop their countries. But for example, the debt in the Europe, it's because it's about the conceptions. They spend more than they earn, and also in their trade balance, they have a minus. They have
Deficit.
They import more than they import. Yes, deficits. It's a minus. So it depends on the nature of this investment, the nature of this debt. So this is more according. So in my opinion,
Yes.
It's I can say. What's your opinion? Do you think it's positive or negative?
So in my opinion,
yeah,
well, it's positive for the business and it's negative for the customer.
Mm-hmm. I think 165% it's quite very high debt. So I don't think when you have this kind of high debt is positive. If it was relative around 60% or 80%, that we can perceive it as a positive. But 165, it's we exceed the
threshold.
Yes, the tolerance of the percentage. 165 is not a good indicator, in my opinion.
Right. Okay.
Despite the fact that they have excellent business climate, but we have always to be. We have to be moderating in our investments.
Right.
So if you have kind of high debt, it means that you don't earn so much that you spend. So this is not reasonable, in my opinion.
Right. Thank you, Mohamed.
You're welcome. This is the GDP of Canada. So you understand from at the beginning of 2000, they know a big raise, a big evolution from 2003 to 2007 before the financial world crisis. And here, why, in your opinion, their GDP has been improved? Because it's simply after the integration of China to the World Trade Organization, l'OMC, WTO, China's integration or Chinese opening has pushed on the world economy to the up. So it's not an exclusive indicator of Canada. It's a common evolution to all the countries. Also in Morocco, if you analyze the GDP of Morocco, it has known a very high GDP growth from 2001 and has known a decrease from 2008 due to the world financial crisis. So it's around $1,753 billion in 2017. And here about the unemployment rate is about 5.8%. The GDP per capita is around 45,000 US dollars. Yes, GDP c'est le PIB, exactement. But here, GDP per capita c'est le PIB par habitant. So how to measure the GDP per capita? You take the population and you take the GDP and you divide it on the population, that you can understand the individual wealth of the householders. And it's quite very high. It's one of the highest GDP per capita in the world. For example, how much is the GDP per capita of Morocco? It's a shame. It's around $3,000. Only $3,000. You know, last week I hosted a lecture on Singapore. Singapore.
Je crois qu'on vous a perdu.
Hello. I'm here.
Yes, we are listening, I think.
Yeah.
Maintenant, c'est bon, je pense.
Okay.
Yes.
So, for example, GDP per capita in Morocco is 3,000. In Singapore, In 1965, the GDP per capita in Singapore was around $300. Now, in 2010, it was about $31,000. So, unfortunately, in our countries, hasn't optimized yet the potential of our. And also 5.8% is a reasonable and positive indicator of the unemployment rate. Qatar, yes, Qatar is one of the highest GDP per capita, not GDP, is one of the highest GDP per capita in the world. With the Luxembourg and maybe Sultanate Oman, maybe. So also about the inflation rate, ça c'est le taux d'inflation, is quite extremely stable, which means that the price of the consumption need of the consumption product are reasonable, are in the appropriation with the income of the household. The current balance, ça c'est la balance commerciale, the current account balance is minus 3.3%. The public debt, according to the GDP, is 97%. In Morocco, just to compare, in Morocco is also 100%. It means that our economy is extremely debted due to the investment. So it's not a consumption debt, it's an investment debt. But we need to return back this investment. And it depends on the capacity to create the wealth and added value in our economy. The GDP growth is around 2.1%, which is a good GDP growth for a developed country. In France, they cannot exceed 1%. So 2.1 for a developed country is quite positive. And the budget balance is 97%. So here are
Well, Mohammed, there is a sound issue. There is an echo in the sound.
So you can see here.
We can't hear you clearly.
Vous avez un problème de connexion, je pense. Ça coupe depuis un moment. C'est Mohamed, est-ce que vous me recevez?
How about
vous avez désactivé votre micro aussi. Mohamed?
Hear me now? Yes. Yes.
On vous entend mieux. Je crois qu'il y a un problème de réseau. Est-ce que les autres participants, est-ce que vous nous écoutez ou pas?
Ah oui, Mohamed Ashraf, je t'écoute. J'arrive pas à écouter Mohamed BENCHEKROUN.
Ok. Mohamed, pouvez-vous tester votre son, s'il vous plaît?
Hani, est-ce que vous m'entendez mieux maintenant?
Là,
Oui.
parfaitement. Parfaitement.
Super.
Super, on continue? On reprend une minute. Allez-y, c'est BENCHEKROUN.
Okay. J'espère que vous m'entendez mieux maintenant.
No, perfect.
Okay. Okay, good. So let's back here. The Canada trade with G7 countries. Okay, excellent. So you can say about the export of Canada with France, with Germany, with Italy, with Japan, with United Kingdom, with United States. Canada exports mainly the natural resources. With France, they export the iron. With Germany, they export the metals. With Italy, pharmaceutical product. This is an exception. With Japan, the coal. With gold, and with the United States, the oil. But on the contrary, they import the specific and the expertise from the other developed countries. For example, with France, they buy the wine. With Germany, they buy the cars. With Italy, also agro food products. Japan, cars, aircraft part and equipment with UK, and the vans and SUVs. It's a type of cars from the US. So we can see here, so the cooperation with China, with Canada, the cooperation of Canada with other countries is mainly based on, I give you the natural resources, and with this natural resource that I sell, I buy all the equipment and the know-how product from the developed countries, which means that Canada is not an expert country on producing the finished product, rather than Germany, Japan, China, United States. So Canada is one of the rare Western countries which is rich on their natural resources, but they don't have a high expertise on selling the finished product. This is because this typical model is similar to Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, and other Russia, other wealth countries. But why Canada is developed, is due to their political system, which is based on humanistic values, democracy, transparency, equity, meritocracy, and so on. Donc ça, c'est vraiment intéressant. It's very interesting to understand, because we think in our belief, in our consciousness, we think that all the Western countries, they are industrial, and they export their expertise. But Canada, no. They export mainly the natural resources. This is, for example, what China export to Canada. For example, China, they export the manufactured product. It's made on the blue color is electronics, computers, broadcasting equipment, telephones, and on the gray color is the furnitures, the seats, other furnitures, and light fixtures, and on the green color is the textile, t-shirt, short, woman suits, and so on. So China exports all the manufactured product which is mandatory for their living, for the living of Canadian people. But on the contrary, Canada exports vegetable product, mineral product, transportation, wood product, paper goods, chemical products, metal, machines, and so on. Vegetables, and also, but also mainly the natural resources. And here, between China and Canada, China exports $48 billion, but Canada exports only $15 billion, which creates a gap, which creates a surplus to China around $33.48 billion on 2016. So thank you so much for your, this is the end of my lecture. And if you have any questions, I am here. I will be very glad to answer you. Business manager. So this is. Hello? Hello? Vous êtes là?
We have a comment from Khadidir Al-Arabi.
Yes.
I can see here the aerospace products. The third largest aircraft company, Bombardier, is Canadian company.
So let's back. What does Canada export to China? Yeah, you can see here is the cars, planes, helicopters. So it's 22.1%, which means that Bombardier doesn't represent a strength, or it's not the main export product among all the products which is export from Canada. But 20% is about the transportation. Here it's included. So Bombardier is including to the transportations, 8.8%. Is it clear? So 8.8% of all the export is about the transportation, including Bombardier. Mr. Shamsi, why China is so powerful than the other countries in the world? Alors, Mr. Shamsi, I invite you to my next lecture. It will be hosted on Monday on the group Qarif Dari, and it will be in French, and I will talk about the success keys of Chinese reborn, les clés de succès de la Renaissance chinoise. So, in my opinion, based on my experience there, I will share with you some reasons or some values or some threats of this country.
Je crois que vous avez été coupé encore une fois.
Vous m'entendez?
Oui, j'écoute.
Bah oui, donc c'est bon. So I invite you to my next lecture, Mr. Shamsi. It will be hosted to Qarif Dari about the Chinese reborn, why China is so powerful. But this is not the purpose of today's class. Marhaba bik, you are welcome. So are you satisfied with this lecture, Mr. Taha? Do you have any questions?
Oh, thank you so much for this valuable presentation. I learned a lot from your presentation, and also I'm a lot attracted to your teaching style. Well, it makes sense, and it provides a lot of value. Thank you so much.
Welcome. And your English level is so excellent that you are also qualified to teach. I'm 100% sure about it.
No, there is a lot of stuff that I'm trying to learn. I don't think that I'm more advanced in the business English. That's why I'm on your lectures, and I'm your student, and I'm honored to be your student and privileged at the same time.
I'm also honored to have such kind of valuable people to attend this class. Really, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, so I will send, of course, I will send this PowerPoint presentation to the monitor, who is Mr. Alawi, and he can forward to all of you, of course, no problem. Okay.
How can we follow you?
Just on my Facebook account. On my Facebook account. or
You got the answer?
yeah, on my Facebook account and or my LinkedIn or Instagram account.
Any question for Mr. Benchekroun, please? Just give me a second to check on Facebook if there's any questions.
Yes. Sorry, Mr. Shamsi, what do you mean by Canada or China?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I wanted just to ask you if you have choice, they give you choice to live in China or Canada. Are you impressed by Canada or China? Because I know that I'm impressed so much in China. That's I suppose.
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
Honestly, it's two different systems, totally different systems. When you live in China, you can never be a Chinese citizen. The foreigners, you can never acquire the Chinese passport or the Chinese citizenship. Can you please put your sound on mute, please? Vous le mettre en mute, s'il vous plaît. Thank you. So in China, the foreigners can never be, they can never enjoy of their citizenship. And to be honest, in China, there are some drawbacks on living there. To be honest, in China, you don't enjoy of the same rights than the Chinese people. It means if you have some conflict with Chinese people, it's very hard for you to get your due. That's why my advice to all of the people who go to China is that you have to maintain a good relationship with local people. Local people, the Chinese people, are very nice, very welcoming. They are not racist anymore. This is one of the reasons why I'm enjoying my life in China, because the people there, they welcome you warmly, really warmly, because Chinese people, it's because they have been close to themselves for so many years, then they are really attracted and charmed to know the foreign people. So they want to know about your culture, about your history, your beliefs, your religion, everything. So they are very friendly, Chinese people. But when a problem comes with Chinese people in their lands, that it's very difficult for you to get your due.
It's a question of freedom.
Sorry?
It's a question of freedom.
Yeah, it's a matter of justice. It's a matter of justice, not freedom. I think China is free. It's a very free and safe country. In China, for example, the advantage is that really the people the foreign enjoy the living in China because it's a very safe country. They provide you can have a lot of business opportunities. You are very well welcomed by Chinese people. You have a very privileged status. When you're a foreigner, you have this privileged status because you are so different, so you have special treatment. But you can never be Chinese citizen, and when you have a problem or issue with Chinese people, you can never get your due in the justice, because they will always prioritize, and they have some preference to the local people. That's why you need to maintain a good relationship and avoid conflictual relationship. This is the fact in China. In Canada, I never been there, but Canada, After living 3 years there, you can be Canadian people, and then you can be citizen, and you will be equal regarding to the constitution with all other Canadian people. But I prefer Asia, because Asia is, I love Asian culture, but because this is its personal point of view, because Asia is a very dynamic region of the world. They are pushing the economy to the up, a lot of business opportunities, and also, and the values of Asian countries is based on hard working, family oriented vision, long-term cooperation, because I believe that Asia is the new center of the world, is the new leaders. And then I'm including China, Singapore, Japan, Korea. So in terms of values, I'm more close to Asian values than Western values, because it's related to the families, to the working. They are more rigorous, more hardworking, and really I admire their culture and their way of being, to be honest. I'm falling in love with this region, but this is very personal.
Yes, Mohamed BENCHEKROUN, you're absolutely right. And the other point which I want to make is the difference between the main difference between Canada and China, which are the political models. China is a more communist model, while Canada is a liberal.
I don't think so. I'm not. I don't agree with you, because China is a hybrid system between communism and liberalism. Is a hybrid system. After the coming of Deng Xiaoping as a Chinese president, he established a pragmatism toward the ideology. They say, okay, communism gives us poverty, hunger. We are the Western countries. So we need to move on. We need to adopt new political system. And then Deng Xiaoping, which is a visionary leader, has opened his economy to the world, and it has been very beneficial for the Chinese economy and for the Chinese reborn. And Xi Jinping, which is the new president, has definitely put China to the globalism and to the world trade. So China is no longer communist. If you want to define and to give an adjective or a qualification to the political regime of China, is authoritarian and nationalistic and pragmatic régime autoritaire, nationaliste et pragmatique. Authoritarian, nationalistic, and pragmatic regime. Authoritarian because the main power is located to the few members of Communist Party, which is in Beijing. Nationalistic because the main motivation is to serve China first, China's interest. And also there are some protectionism in their Chinese measures. They prioritize Chinese citizens. Like when you are foreigner, you cannot have an access on all the job offers. The job which is destined to foreigners are very limited. So that's why
Well, if I'm right, I think, Mohammed, you have a problem in your... We can't hear you clearly. The
Right.
sound goes. Yes.
Mohamed. Mohamed, on vous voit plus, on ne voit plus votre partage. Enfin, le partage y est, mais il n'y a plus de son. Welcome back, Mike. Welcome back.
I'm sorry. So I said, so the Chinese policy, it's they call themselves as a communist political regime, but they are not in the fact. They are pragmatic, and it's hybrid regime. So they have some legislative articles who are belonging, who has been inspired by communist ideology. For example, the Chinese people, they cannot own any properties. If you buy a house, after 70 years, it will be belonging to the state. But I think this law, it will be changed very soon, because Chinese people, they cannot accept this treatment. So I think China is moving on being more and more liberal and more nationalist. So for me, it's authoritarian regime, nationalistic regime, and pragmatic regime.
Right. Good point.
Mr. Mohammed, I have a question, please.
Yes.
Are you both of persons who do you think that Malaysia will be the dragon or the new dragon in Asia?
Definitely yes.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Monsieur Alaoui?
Si vous pouvez vous présenter d'abord.
C'est pas grave.
I'm so sorry. My name is Shamsi, and I'm manager of a company called Box. It's a company of cleaning as activity.
Enchanté, c'est ça.
You're welcome.
So now
I repeat
the
my
world
question.
economy has been moved to En fait, il a dit, est-ce que la Malaisie sera la nouvelle puissance asiatique?
Exactly.
Okay, so can you please, yeah, so definitely they are now in the ASEAN community, like Asian Southeastern countries, and here it's about Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Vietnam. Now Pakistan, sorry, also Pakistan, very important country also. All of them now they know a boom of their economy. Why? It's due to the delocalization, is due to the implementation of the Chinese factory in these neighborhood countries. Because from 2013, 2014, Chinese policy has been changed totally. They have a new want. They have a new goal, is to move on from factory of the world to the developed country. And this change obliged them to raise the salary of the Chinese householders. And in order to maintain the Chinese competitiveness, they have been obliged to implement one of their industries in the other platforms which can give them a competitiveness in terms of cost. And Pakistan, Indonesia, Vietnam, they are now the new factory of the world and of China as well. So that's why in the 10 years later, they will be the new dragons or the new powers of in this region, definitely. Donc, so my advice, if you want to buy now cheap product, like if you want to buy very cheap accessories, it's no longer in China. You can move on to Vietnam. You can go to Ethiopia. You can go to Bangladesh, but not in China. In China now, the price has been raised. But now China export more technology, know-how, and more sophisticated products.
Merci Mohamed Benchekroun. Merci tout le monde. Je crois qu'on a dépassé le temps prévu pour cette formation. C'est très passionnant en tous les cas. Très, très passionnant.
Yeah.
Allah يبارك فيك. Donc, en clôture, c'était Mohamed.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. Shishini wo ainimen, ça veut dire, it means I love you all and take care.
Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Merci à tous les participants depuis Facebook. Merci à tous ceux qui nous ont suivis sur Zoom. Merci à tous et bonne fin de soirée. On se donne rendez-vous à partir du lundi pour d'autres cours, d'autres formations. Et probablement Benchekroun aussi. Donc, tenez-vous prêts pour une autre session avec Benchekroun. D'autres informations tout aussi passionnantes les unes que les autres. Be prepared. And God bless.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Merci à toi, cher ami.